إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد الله ورسوله عليه الصلاة والسلام أرسله ربه بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ألا وإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. يقول الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم وأصدق القائلين: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. I bear witness that there is none worthy of our worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, is the seal of the prophets and the final messenger to all of humanity. Whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, there is none to misguide. And whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves to stray, there is none to guide aright. July 1st, Canada turned 150. And July 1st, I turned 40. So it's a very special day for me. It's the day I was born, and it's the day I got married. So it's a very special day for me and the family. But I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about the concept of life and the fact that when you reach the age of 40, this is the peak of your life based on Islamic traditions. And I will talk about some of the good things that I've done in my life so far, because I don't expect to live another 40. And I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that I made and I'm trying to correct. And I'll share some of the teachings of Islam about the age of 40, Sinnul Hikmah, the age of wisdom in Islam. This number 40 is very important and very significant in the Quran and in the teachings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you read, for example, in the Quran, in Surah A'raf, chapter number 7, that Musa alayhi salam was fasting for 40 days when he went for the appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You read, for example, in Surah Ma'idah, that Banu Israel, the children of Israel, after they left with Musa alayhi salam from Egypt, they were in the wilderness, في صحراء التيه, for 40 years. 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض. We know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam became a prophet at the age of 40. And most of the prophets became prophets at the age of 40, most of them. And even till this day, in most constitutions, or I would say most, but many constitutions in the world, one of the requirements or the minimum age that is required for someone to run for the high office in a country is the age 40. Sometimes it's 35, but in many cases it is 40. When the Prophet ﷺ speaks about the stages of development of the baby in the womb of the mother, from nutfa to alaqa to mudgha, it takes 40 days for every stage to be completed. Some of the scholars, when they wrote books, they made sure that the number 40 is there, for barakah and so on and so forth. We know 40 Nawawiyya for Imam Nawawi, rahimahullah. 40 Nawawis, that's the book, the title is the 40 Hadith from the Prophet ﷺ. There's another beautiful hadith in Sahih Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ says, من قام عليه 40 لا يشركون بالله شيئا إلا شفعهم الله فيه وفي رواية إلا أدخله الله الجنة. The Prophet ﷺ says in Sahih Muslim, if someone dies and they come to the masjid for a funeral, and if there are 40 people who pray funeral prayer on that person, this person is going to Jannah, and these people will be like shafa'ah for him or her. So the number is very important, and there are so many other evidences in the Quran and the Sunnah, but this is enough to establish the fact that number 40 is important. In Surah Ahqaf, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the prime age of your life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifies the age of 40. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Ahqaf, Surah number 46, ayah number 19, حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة قال رب أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأصلح لي في ذريتي إني تبت إليك وإني من المسلمين. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this surah, Surah 45, chapter 45 in the Quran, ayah number 19. He says, when someone reaches the prime of their life and they reach the age of 40, they pray to Allah and they say, Ya Allah, forgive me and shower me with your blessings along with my parents. So he's making dua, or she is making dua for himself, themselves, and their family, and they're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless their children, and they say, Ya Allah, we turn to you in repentance, and we are fully submitting to you. So this is a special dua at the age of 40. So what is special about the age of 40? If you read in the Tafsir ibn Kathir, he says, when you reach the age of 40, he says in his Tafsir, you reach the prime of your life physically, mentally, emotionally, and so on and so forth. In every aspect, this is the peak of your life when you reach this age. Before the age of 40, and this is supported by modern science. Before, they used to say when you are the age of 20, you reach your prime in terms of mental ability. But recent studies show that 40 is the age of maturity physically and mentally and so on and so forth. When we are younger, like you're 17, 19, you change your mind all the time. I talk to some of the brothers and sisters in their youth, they change their mind all the time. So they come to me, oh, I'm not sure which way I want to go. I want to go to college, this school or this school, so I want to be a doctor. 5 minutes later, no, I want to be an engineer. 5 minutes later, I will drive Uber, right? So they change their mind every 5 minutes. And the same for the job. And the same for the person they will marry. They basically love every person they meet in the street. So one day I'm gonna marry Fatima, another day I'm gonna marry Zainab, a third day, no, I'm gonna marry Maria. So they change their mind all the time, right? But when you hit this age, you start to grow, you start to mature, and you think very clearly. And after this age, there is a certain age that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about. After the age of 40, you reach, you live a way longer life after this, and now you are thinking emotionally. People are not talking to me anymore. My kids got married and they moved out. There's no one here for me. So you start to get emotional, right? So at the age of 40, you start to think, because now you reach the prime of your life. You're the healthiest, and your memory is the best, and so on and so forth. And some people have good memories at the age of 70, 80, I'm not saying, but generally, this is the prime of your life. And personally, I don't think, as I said, I will live another 40. So this is the peak. When I look this way, from the peak I see my childhood. And I look on the other side, I'm getting old. I have doctor appointments all the time, and so on and so forth. I'm getting ready that every day passes by in my life, I'm getting close to the end. So I'm getting there. So I have to think very clearly now and reflect on my life. Am I doing the right thing? Am I fulfilling my obligations in this life towards my Creator, towards my family, my children, my community, and so on and so forth? So now this will give you a better perspective of your life. And if you're not doing the right thing, this is probably the right time to start, because we don't expect to live another year, another 30 years, another 40 years. So what are your achievements in life? If you are getting there close to 30 or 40, or you're past that age, what are your achievements in life? And the Prophet ﷺ tells us in the hadith, you have to leave a mark. You have to leave a legacy. Whether it's some beneficial knowledge, أو علما ينتفع به, to the people, or if you don't have the knowledge, what about money? You left a legacy for people, for cancer research, a donation for the homeless, and so on and so forth, and the poor, the orphans. You left a legacy in terms of money to help the people. And the Prophet ﷺ says, if you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the financial ability, علم ينتفع به أو صدقة جارية, at least ولد صالح يدعو له, raise good children to be good citizens, and this will be your legacy. So you have no excuse not to leave a legacy behind. And I think of some people who died young in Islamic history. I think of Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, one of the great Sahaba of Muhammad ﷺ. He was at the age of 38. وَإِهْتَزَّ لَهُ عَرْشُ الرَّحْمَنِ. When he died, the Prophet ﷺ said the throne of Allah was shaken when this man, Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, died at the age of 38. What did he do? What is the achievement so that the throne of Allah will shake for him? You read about Imam al-Nawawi. He was in his 40s when he died, young. 40 something is not a very old age, right? But he left a great legacy. Arba'in Nawawiyya, so on and so forth, Riyadh al-Salihin, and so on and so forth. He left a great legacy behind. So what is my legacy? I also think about my life and purpose in this world. Is my purpose here to please everyone? This is something you cannot achieve. So you might as well try to please Him. Forget about the people. Yes, you try to be nice to everyone, you do your best, but believe me, you cannot please everyone in this world. It is very difficult, it is very hard. So, we know the story of Juha. Everyone knows the story when he was walking with his son and they have the donkey with him. So the father was on the back of the donkey, the son was walking. They passed by a group of people and the people said, look at this ruthless man. He's ruthless. He has no kindness in his heart. His son is walking, he is on top of the donkey. So Juha got off the donkey, he put his son on the back of the donkey, and he passed by another group. They said, look at this impolite kid. He's on the top of the donkey and his dad is walking. Where is the respect for the seniors? So he got on the back of the donkey with his son. Both of them were on the back of the donkey. They passed by another group, human rights group. They said, oh, where is the animal rights? Both of you are on the back of the donkey. So they both got off the donkey and they walked and they pulled the donkey with them. They passed by a fourth group and they said, look at these crazy people. They are walking and the donkey is walking with them. Why did Allah create donkeys? Right? So he said to his son, forget about pleasing people. No matter what you do, no matter what you do to please people, no one will be happy with you. People just will walk all over you if you try to please them, and they will complain that you're not flat enough. You might as well please him. Yes, be good to everyone, but he is priority number one. Be honest, be sincere, be kind to everyone. The problem with some people, and this is not a problem with him, is you live a decent life. You are an excellent human being. If you are a religious leader, if you are a politician, you are a teacher, any job, right? You live an excellent life. You're honest, you're sincere, you're a family person, you provide for your family, you give charity, you help everyone, and you make one mistake, and then after they cross you out as an evil person, there's nothing good about you. But with him, you live a life of sin, you do terrible things, then at some point in your life you turn to him and you ask for forgiveness, you promise that you will mend your ways, he will accept you. People don't accept, he accepts. So you might as well try to please him and not please everyone. As long as you are doing the right thing, it doesn't matter if people are pleased with you or not, right? In some cases, I'm not trying to criticize everyone. Believe me, last week, we were in Toronto here, they had the Halal Muslim Fest. People go, they eat, and someone was asking me, what was the best food you ate at the Halal Muslim Fest? And I said, the free samples, right? As long as it's free, I'm happy. I'm kidding. But anyway, someone was outside protesting that Muslims eat meat. And it is the same people who 3-4 months ago, they were at the Board of Education, they were protesting that Muslim kids are praying Jummah. And they are the same people in the future who may complain that Muslims are consuming too much air, they are breathing too much, or contaminating the air. You just do the right thing. If you are a vegetarian, alhamdulillah, if you're a carnivore, it's up to you. I'm not judging people or telling them what to do. You just live your life as long as you're not harming anyone, and khalas, move on. You cannot guarantee the satisfaction of everyone. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you do a survey, or you give people's votes on His existence, you will not get 30% of the votes will not go to, He will only get like 20%, 25% of the votes that He exists, right? And so on and so forth. And He is the worthy of worship. So no one is pleased fully 100% with anyone, even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People question Him. Kids with cancer, why did you do that, right? People always complain, people always brag. They don't understand that this life is a test and we are here to be tested. Someone is tested in a different way than you. We take care of each other, we support each other, but eventually we're not here to stay. We will leave this world at the end of our life and khalas. But try to be good to everyone. So my job is not to please everyone or offend anyone either. The fact that I have the freedom of expression or freedom of speech, I don't have the right to go and offend people. Doesn't matter their faith, their choices and beliefs in life. I don't have the right to offend anyone. I have free choice and I have the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, as long as I'm not offending anyone or getting out of my way to be offensive and make people feel miserable about themselves. If I want to please everyone in this world, Imam Mustafa, I'm talking about myself now. If I want to please everyone in this world, I'm going to leave this job as an imam and a teacher, and I'm going to walk around in the streets and give out free ice cream. Everyone will love me, everyone will be happy with me. But again, not everyone will be happy with your choices in life. The other thing is, sometimes I receive invitations to go and debate with someone. Like I receive, someone would call me, can we go and debate about this and that and that. And I told them, I don't expect to live another 40. I don't have time for debates, but I have time for work. We don't want to waste 2-3 hours of our life to debate about someone and something or whatever, a belief. It's up to you. We are smart enough or educated enough to figure out what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. I don't have time for this, but I have time so we can work together to alleviate the suffering of people. We can work together to serve the homeless, the orphans, to stand up for the rights of minorities like First Nations, like Charlie Angus. He's here with us. He's a great advocate of First Nations rights, and he's a great man known for his integrity. So this is something I'm willing to do, to volunteer, to work for the poor and the homeless and the needy and the orphans, to stand up for the rights of First Nations, African Americans, and so on and so forth, to stand up for the rights of Muslims who are abused in China, and the Palestinians, the Yemenis, the Libyans, the Iraqis, the Syrians, the innocent women and children who are targeted for nothing. I believe in the dignity of all human beings, and everyone deserves to live a decent life, a dignified life. I believe the life of a Muslim is as precious to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of everyone. The life of a Muslim is as precious as the life of a Christian, a Jew, a Buddhist, a Hindu. They are the creation of Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. He is the creator, and He said, I dignified and I honored all my creation. All human beings are dignified in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I respect everyone, regardless of their choices in life and their belief systems. They are accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the judge, not me. So as long as we respect everyone, we love for each other what we love for ourselves, and we have respect for everyone, we as a community, Muslims, non-Muslims, we are as strong as the weakest link among us. So we take care of each other, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best life in this world and to give us the best in the life to come. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, arsalahu rabbuhu rahmatan lil alamin. So in the last 5 minutes of the life of this khutbah, I will talk about some of the, now thinking about the 40 lives that I lived on your planet, and the fact that I don't have another 40 to live, so I reflect on the good things and the bad things. So the good things I'm going to be politically correct here. One of the best things that I have done in my life, my wife is downstairs, is here somewhere. Marrying my wife is one of the best achievements in my life. It's a survival technique. I'm happy, she's happy, everyone is happy, alhamdulillah. Political correctness is important. Coming to Canada is a very important step in my life, where I enjoy freedoms, democracy, I live a dignified life here with human rights, alhamdulillah. So I came in 2011, alhamdulillah, I'm happy, and I'm trying to contribute for the well-being of this society. Number 3, studying at Al-Azhar, alhamdulillah. And number 4, doing the first translation in the history of Canada, the Clear Quran. So alhamdulillah, I'm proud of this. The mistakes, I'll talk about one mistake. The mistake, my biggest mistake that I made was not to come to Canada sooner. So I wish I came earlier, alhamdulillah, to contribute to the well-being and the greatness of this society, inshallah. As I said, I don't have time to hate anyone, and I don't judge anyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the judge. I don't hate any other human being. Even Donald Trump, I don't hate him. We should be building bridges, not walls. I don't hate him, not even George Bush, but I disagree and I dislike tyranny and abuse of people and abuse of power. We should be building bridges, not walls. So, finally, this is the last reflection. I don't know, I could be mistaken. We will live in this world and we will die not knowing the whole truth. Because what we know from the media is what they want us to know, right? It could be 70% of the truth, 90% of the truth, and sometimes we find out like 50 years later, 70 years later, that we were told lies in the news. Everyone knows that Johnson lied about Vietnam. Everyone knows that George Bush lied about Iraq, and so on and so forth. We don't know the whole truth. Who killed John F. Kennedy in 1963? Allahu A'lam. Who knows? But there is a day of judgment we believe in as Muslims. يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ. All secrets will be disclosed. So we will see things on the day of judgment and we'll say, oh my goodness, I didn't know. Like no one told us. This is amazing, like what was going on? Everything from who took the Nutella from the fridge, all the way to politics and what was happening behind our backs, who was telling the truth and who was lying. So at least now what we can do is to trust the people of integrity and we work together for the well-being of our society. The last thing I will say, khalas, in the last minute, when I reflect on the Quran, I was working on the translation of the Quran, the Clear Quran, for 4 years now. And I noticed something. Now whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the day of judgment, which will happen, who knows, thousands of years, millions of years, I don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always talks, the logic says, if Allah is talking about the day of judgment, He should talk in the future tense. This will happen and this will happen in Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day of judgment. But it is very interesting that Allah talks in the past tense. وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَأُدْخِلَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Right? He talks in the past about judgment. It already happened in the past. The people of Jannah paradise, they are already there. The people of Jahannam, they are already there. Justice is fulfilled and justice is established. Everyone received what they deserved. In the past. So I said, subhanAllah, what is going on? It should be in the future. Why is Allah talking in the past? Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not limited by our standards. So for Him, there is no past, there is no present, and there is no future. So this is number one. Number two, the scholars say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this day is coming for sure. For sure it is happening. There is nothing that is going to stop this day from coming, Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of judgment. So it has already happened. Khalas, finished. And number three, when I tried to reason this concept in the last 15 seconds of my khutbah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about this world compared to the next life, He says, وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. The next life is the perfect life. وفي سورة الفجر يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي. The person will cry on the day of judgment and say, I wish I have done the right thing for this true perfect life. So this means that this life we are here, like in this world, it is not perfect, it is not complete life. So this life compared to the next life, the perfect, true life, we're basically living like a cartoon movie. It's like a cartoon movie, it is not real. We do the right thing. So when I try to reason, this life is like a 1 hour, 30-minute movie. Like Pixar, Disney movie. This is how I think of it. The movie is like, say for example, 1 hour. 1 hour movie. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything is done, the movie is over, justice is established for everyone. But for us, this 1 hour movie is going at a slow motion thing. It's taking thousands and probably millions of years to watch. But the movie is already over, justice is established, everyone received their place in Jannah or Jahannam, and this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks in the past. Who knows? Allahu a'lam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a dignified life in this world, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us izzah and to give us the best in this life and the best in the life to come. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use us for the service of humanity, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best according to the best of our intentions, and to give us sincerity in everything we say and do. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وأقم الصلاة.